To be Shaman.
Oh boy, it's going.
If your spirit is strong, you could be the
Alright, I think
Okay,
it's the ad, yeah.
That's pretty funny. It's like an ad for some kind of laptop, but it looked like the game on it was running like garbage. So, like, the funny thing is, though, like, it's not the laptop, I don't think. I think it's just that the ad was, like, dying trying to load.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Was it an ad for the Stadia?
No, it was just some laptop.
Man.
I wasn't paying attention to what brand, because I don't care.
Yeah, that's pretty funny, though.
Yeah, for a second I was looking at it, it's like, oh, they're advertising how bad this laptop is. Very smart.
Yeah, it's like they start with the bad laptop and they like, to like transfer over. It's like, you don't want that crap. Someone like literally smacks it off the table. It's like grab a big bulky computer, just slam it on the desk.
Yeah, see, that's where I thought it was going. It's like, oh, look how bad this one is, but ours is better. It's like, no, the ad was just dying.
I would love if someone just made like an intentionally bad computer ad where it's like, oh yeah, it just doesn't perform. And it's like, oh ew, like lag, you don't want that. And they just smack it off the table. just as like violently as possible.
Just don't use computers.
Yeah, read a book instead, fucker. Just huge book just slams on the table. They're like flipping through pages. It's like no lag necessary. Oh man.
Or yeah.
Yeah. So Shaman King, right?
There, that's fine. Yeah, Shaman King.
Yeah, the thing we're supposed to be talking about. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yo, Matamune's so cool.
Matamune's so cool, though.
It's like, oh, the Nekomata representation of the, like, yokai, or, like, spirit type or whatever. And it's like, oh, he's super cool. Great.
Yeah, he's just the, like, crazy intellectual, like, a mentor character who's just, like... First off, I love this guy's design.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it's so cute, but it still has that, like, cool vibe to it, and he can, like, do a cool thing where he just glares at someone, his eyes go all, like, yellow or whatever. Like, it's so neat.
He like, have you ever seen a cat's eyes just, like, they just, like, shrink and their eyes go huge?
Yeah.
Or it's like their pupils shrink and their eyes go huge. It's like, yeah, he just kind of do that thing.
Yeah. Dude's a good ghost.
Yeah. Yeah, he shows up and he, like, starts, like, talking down to Ponchi and Conchi, and they're like, oh, who you think you are? We're 400 years old. We'll show you. And then he, like, beats them instantly.
Yeah, he, like... I should have got the screenshot, because, he rips their faces in half.
I missed that, I guess.
Yeah, like, off to the side, like, after he beats them, you just see Conchi and, like, half his face is ripped off, and you just see the bone. It just looks... It's like half a skull face. It's nuts.
Okay, I thought he just bopped him with his Kiseru.
No, he proper wrecked them, and they just had to regenerate.
Okay. Yeah. That's why you see them in the background here in this picture. They're just kind of sitting in the back, behaving themselves, wearing diapers.
Yeah. But yeah, so this is like the start of a flashback arc.
Yeah, this whole episode, almost all of it is flashback.
Yeah, it just starts off and, you see kind of the end of that, like, conversation with Marco where Yo's just like, oh yeah, no, I quit the Sean fight, yeah. He's like, hey, come on, guys, let's get out of here. He, like, leaves his Oracle Bell behind, just walks away.
Yeah, Marco's like, you just like that easy? It's gotta be a trick. And everybody else is like, no, Yo's just a good person.
Yeah. I like the little detail. It's like Marco just falls to his knees in disbelief because he can't believe how easily Yo just gave up on being the Shaman King.
It's like Ren's life is more important.
Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, if I had to like sacrifice a friend to become the Shaman King, that'd be kind of dumb, right?
That'd be messed up.
Yeah, it's like it kind of does make perfect sense, and yeah, Yo just like leaves, and like John seems like, sorry, Miss Maiden seems like really disappointed in him. Like as soon as he makes his decision, she seems really like cold and detached about him all of a sudden.
Calls him like impure or something, and it's like the dude gave up on his dreams to save a friend. I don't like. What do you want about?
Yeah, I guess they're like, oh man, we'll have to do so much convincing because Yo's resolve is so pure and like cool and stuff. And he's
Yeah.
like, yeah, no, what resolve? I don't care about that. Just do it.
The X laws are some bull crap. They think they're all like, think they're better than everyone else. It's like, shut up.
But yeah, like I guess Yo's just out of the tournament for good now.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like they destroyed the Oracle Bell or took it. Like, Anna shows up and finds it. She could have just grabbed it and brought it back to Yo.
Yeah, but it's like thematically, it's like I feel like we all kind of like get that it's like, oh yeah, it's meant to be like Yo just leaving the tournament for good.
I guess, but if he has his Oracle Bell, he can still compete, can't he?
Yeah, but they'd be breaking the promise, right?
So,
Yeah.
the X laws are the enemy.
Like, I'm definitely interested in, like, where this goes, because it's like, I have the feeling that Ryu's just going to leave now. Because, like, what the heck else is there for him to really do when they don't need a 3-man team?
Ryu's dedicated to Yo. Like, he's probably gonna stick around.
Yeah, he'll either stick around or he'll just, like, become, like, a background character, basically. Like, I can't imagine him being, like, like actively that involved after his point, which can make sense because it's like, it feels like for a while the writer just doesn't really like have a clear idea of what they want to do with Ryu anymore.
I don't know.
Like, yeah.
They're clearly setting up a new threat. Like, they're setting up demons.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Also, not related to what I just said, but it's like there's a shot where Ryu's like, if you let Ren die, I will crush you. Like, talking to Marco.
Do you think Ryu could like actually take Marco at this point?
Sure.
I feel like that'd be way more even than we'd like expect, right?
Yeah, but the special training or whatever, like,
Yeah.
I'm sure Ryu stands way more of a chance than people might think.
I had the feeling that it'd be like, like Marco would win, but it'd be like more of a close match than you'd expect. Like, Ryu would like break his angel over soul once or something, then Marco would be like, like able to just barely scrape by and finish him off. Like something like that, I imagine.
I think Ryu would win.
Yeah. I feel like it'd be like, like a Tian's, well, not Tian's Cell situation, but like, it'd be like Yamcha versus Tian or something, where it's like, oh yeah, Yamcha's actually like doing good and he's like actually beating him, but Tian just has so many tricks, he kind of overwhelms him in the end.
In his proper martial arts training.
Yeah. Man, original Dragon Ball is nuts to look back on. Yamcha vs. Tien was a fight, and it was hype as fuck. But yeah, we get this big flashback arc, and it's like... It's kind of hard to really, like, get into, because it's like, it's like a huge lot of setup, and there's a lot of, like, just really solid like bits of lore and plot that are just getting like thrown out there, and it's like hard to really keep track of it all, right?
Not really. It's just the story of how Yo was set up to be with Anna.
Yeah, it's
and this
like...
and this cat who probably dies during these flashbacks shows up. I only say that because we know we haven't seen him up until now.
Yeah. Because we, like... First out, it's like, Yo's going to... I forget what the place is called, but he's going to a specific, like, prefecture in Japan to, like, meet with Anna that's, you know, known as, like, the place that connects this world with, like, the afterlife, basically.
Yeah. Something of the dead. I don't remember what it was, like the Mountain of the Dead or something, or Mountain of Fear, I think is what the
I think that was it. Something like
translator
that, yeah.
note said. Yeah. It's
But
like some
yeah.
place where ghosts who don't have any, like ghosts who don't have anywhere where they belong end up there.
Yeah, and they just sort of, like, wander off into hell. It's like, okay, yeah, that's super interesting. Like, I have to imagine this is gonna end with this cat somehow, like, wandering into the other side and being like, you know, I've, like, lived too long, it's time for me to move on or something.
Yeah, it's something like he'll just pass on or something. It's like, yeah, it's been good, but I gotta go.
But yeah, so that's a thing. And, like, Yo's going there so he can meet Anna, who he just found out he's, like, betrothed to, but he hasn't actually, like, met yet.
That's the word, betrothed. That's the word I was trying to think of.
Yeah, betrothed or, like, engaged to or whatever.
Yeah.
And we see at the start of the episode, this somehow ends with, like, Yo holding a sword, like, in front of what looks like a giant foot that's been, like, decapitated. So I guess Yo fights a giant ghost at some point or something. I don't know, it seems kinda wild.
Yeah. And for all intents and purposes, Matamune is Yo's first guardian spirit.
Yeah, that was something I didn't pick up on the first time, but it's actually a really cool little detail. Because it's like, it's quickly kind of like, brought that it's like, I forget if this is in the anime or if it's just in the manga, but it's like, they do mention that it's like, unlike a Mitamaru, Yo can't really control him and like change his shape and stuff.
Yeah, he says it in the anime in a sense. He's like he says Matamune was my first guardian spirit, but it's not like I could tell him what to do, or I wasn't in a position to tell him to do anything.
Yeah, makes sense, yeah. So yeah, that's super interesting. Also, this makes the ending make, like, so much sense now.
What ending to what?
Yeah, the ending, like, bit of the episode where it's like, there's like the opening and there's the ending or whatever. What it's called, the
like
credit sequence, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because the new, like, ED is that Yo's just on a train with Matamune, and they're just, like, having this little talk together.
Yo's super into trains.
Oh yeah, that's a thing now. Yo has no friends, and he inherited a bunch of, like, passed down Bob Marley merch, and he's also really into trains.
Yeah. Also, we learned something we already knew, and it's that Anna's freakishly strong.
Oh yeah, like, I feel like this is setting Anna up to be way stronger than, like, I expected.
Well, like, her grandmother? I think, I'm not sure who she is to her.
I believe it's her
caretaker?
grandmother, yeah.
Whoever she is, she's like, yeah, Anna's cursed.
Yeah, she's, like, cursed by her power and by her fate, and she's, like, a force to be reckoned with. Even you might not come out unscratched, Matamune. And he's like, oh, seriously?
To be fair, like, I'm sure Matamune's strong, but all we've seen him do is take out two, like, baby-level spirits.
Yeah. Man, what if Anna's the one who, like, kills him? Like, if she sends him to the other side or whatever, and Yo just has to deal with it.
I hope if that's what happens, I hope she doesn't, like, force it or whatever, like, he's cool with it.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, it'd make Anna kind of less likable. She, like, forcibly sends him on.
Man, there has to be something there, right? Because the way they're talking about Anna makes it seem like, there's something, like, about her that's, like, uncontrollable. Like, she's, like, she draws demons to her or some crap. Like, I don't know, I feel like that might be what it's getting at, because it's like... Alright, so there's like a bunch of like backstory we learn here, where it's like, oh yeah, Anna's like caretaker, let's say. I don't know if it's her grandma or not. But it's like, she's in the Atako clan, and like, the one of the Atako clan get like blinded, and they like, if they go blind, they like learn to train spirits. And Anna's like the one exception where it's like, she's like a master at like handling spirits and like, like using spirit energy and stuff, but she's like able to keep her sight.
Yeah.
Because like her grandma was like, it seems like blinded in the war. I have to assume that's like World War II or something.
Yeah, probably.
And like that's why she had to like, learn to be like, a shaman, like a spiritualist and all that stuff, and how she was able to like teach this all to Anna. So we get a bunch of stuff with that, and we get some stuff with like, like Mickey training Tamao on like mountain climbing or whatever.
Yeah, we learn the stuff about the Atako from him while he's talking to Mao.
But yeah, this means like Tamao's been like training for way longer than we expected.
Since she was 7 at least.
Oh yeah. Like, if Tamao's spirits just weren't so unruly and uncontrollable, she'd actually probably be pretty powerful.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a
she's...
shame.
Yeah.
It's a shame she did, like, assuming Masamune doesn't die, it's a shame she didn't get Masamune.
Yeah, like, if Tamao got Masamune, she'd be so strong.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like he'd be, like, a good match for her, honestly, because he's, like, he's just really, like, wise and, like, kind of caring, and, he'll, like, let people kind of, like, speak their mind and, try to bring out the best in them and stuff. And I feel like,
Yeah.
Tamao could really use someone like that.
Yeah, unfortunately, she's stuck with a stupid Tanuki and
The
fox
worst
spirit.
ghosts ever.
Yeah, the worst ghosts ever.
Oh, man. Holy crap. I at this point, do you even want Conchi to have a redemption arc?
Don't care. I would prefer, like, if they're gonna show up anytime Tamao is on screen, I would prefer Tamao just not be part of the story.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. I'd get behind that.
It's like, she seems nice. I don't want their, like, her stupid spirits screaming at the top of their lungs every time something happens.
Yeah,
That's even the problem Masamune had with him. It's like, would you tell them to shut up?
Yeah. Right, also, like, yeah, effing demons are a thing now.
Yeah. Yeah, some demon just like comes out of the water and starts chasing Yo.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I'll use these leaf spirits that my grandpa taught me how to use. It's like, I'm stronger than I used to be. And the demon just swipes him away and keeps chasing him.
I do like that little touch, because it's like, I think we did see him train with the leaves before, and it's like, oh yeah, of course he'd be able to do this.
Yeah. Well,
Like, of course.
Earlier in the episode, Yo has, I think he has one of them, like, carrying something for him.
Oh, does he? I didn't even notice.
Yeah, it's like when he walks into the kitchen and like there's like one of them carrying something over to him, and when his grandpa tells him that like he's been set up to be married, like it drops whatever it is. Like it looks as shocked as he does.
Oh man.
Also, Yo just happens to run into Anna, and it's like there's like this like heavenly music and like everything's all like shiny and like whatever, and it's like, oh, she's so beautiful, and then she's like get, you're blocking traffic, die.
Yeah. Like, it's implied she, like, knows who he is, too, because,
She definitely knows who he is.
Yeah, she's like, oh, Yo's supposed to be my, like, husband. He seems like a real wuss.
Yeah.
And it, like, shocks him so much as little, like, updo comes apart.
Yeah. Like, she starts walking away, and I don't remember how, like, exactly what happens, but it starts doing, like, the angelic music and whatever again as she turns around and, like, calls him an idiot or whatever.
Yeah. Man, yo. Like, some people would die for that.
Some people are into that, yeah.
Some people would die for, like, yo, to be engaged to someone who's like, hey, yo, die. Who's just like, yeah, they're just like, hey, eat shit, and they're like, alright. But yeah, we learned that, like, demons... Oop.
Sorry, I was just saying, weirdly enough, that kind of ties into Ghost Game this week.
Yeah, it kind of does, weirdly. Huh.
Kinda.
Kind of.
Yeah, so Demon attacks Yo, and Matamune just shows up. He's like, oh yeah, it's a demon. It's like, sometimes, like, bad emotions or thoughts or whatever manifest in the physical form and turn into demons. And then he just deals with it.
Yeah, it turns out Matamune, I think that's his name, yeah.
Yeah, Matamune.
Matamune could just, like, use his pipe to, like, form an oversoul with himself, which is kinda nutty.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest revelation of this episode, and it's that spirits themselves can have oversouls.
Yeah, like, it doesn't last long. Like, he stabs him with the sword he, like, forms from it, and then it, like, breaks immediately, but it gets the job done really nicely.
I mean, it could have just broke because he made it, because it's over. He doesn't need it.
Yeah, maybe, but I feel like it would make sense if it just, like, like, they just have no Furyoku or whatever, so it just doesn't last long, right?
Maybe they need the energy of the living to make it last.
Yeah. They need that, like, connection with a partner to actually do the thing, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, still, that's really, like, impressive that he's able to do that at all, because holy crap. Yeah, there's also, like, I don't know if you caught it. There's also a bit of, like, a subtle hint that, like, Matamune might have been, like, Hao's guardian spirit before he got the Spirit of Fire, right?
I'm not sure. They mention it's like, oh, you were that person's guardian spirit, but they never give any indication aside from that.
Yeah, they don't say the name specifically, but it's like, we know he's been around for, like, 1,000 years at least.
And he took part in the last Shaman fight.
Yeah. Last Shaman fight would be, like, 500 years ago, but it's like, I'd assume that, like, 1,000 years ago he'd be, like, like, with the Asakura family, too, because he's, like, he seems like he's, like, just the spirit of their household or whatever, right?
He might have been Hal's guardian spirit before he went bad.
Yeah, like, his first incarnation when he was, like, like, riding the Ultra Chiyoko Senketsu or whatever it's called, and, like, doing all that stuff, and, like, figuring out how, like, reincarnate himself.
Yeah, right. I didn't even think about the fact that he knew it. Like, yeah, he knows the whatever it's called.
Yeah.
The special technique.
Yeah, the book.
Maybe that's the only reason he can do an oversoul.
Yes.
Like, it might not be a common thing.
Yeah, I'd believe that. That's, like, it's just because he, like, knows about these crazy spells and stuff that he's able to, like, do this crap with his own, like, energy that's, like, not normal. But yeah. Like, in my mind, it's like, it seems like what happens is that it's like, that went down, and I guess, like, I have to assume, like, maybe he fought the, like, 1,000-year ago Shaman fight with Hao or something. And, like, Hao dies and reincarnates, and he doesn't take him with him, so he's just sort of, like, stuck behind. And, like, 500 years ago, like, the other Shaman fight happened, where he probably had to fight Hao, like, realistically. And he probably got wrecked, I'd imagine.
Maybe. I mean, there's a part 2 to this episode. We might find out.
Oh yeah, like this is gonna go on for a bit. Like, look at like the manga. It's like the entire volume is just this arc,
Hmm.
and there might be like more to it in the next volume as well. So like yeah, this is gonna be like a whole thing.
I just kind of want to know how Yo inevitably gets back into the shaman fight.
I mean, what if he doesn't?
And then what the heck is the story about? The
It,
whole
mi-
thing about becoming the shaman king. If he's not in the tournament to become like the shaman king, then what the heck is the plot?
it might just be to like just stop Hal from becoming the Shaman King by any means necessary.
Yo will get back into the tournament somehow.
Yeah, like I'm not so sure. Like I could see this going a direction where it's like, like Yo's not directly in the tournament, but he's like, oh hey Rin, you do your thing and I'll like protect you like, off to the side, right? And he's like, dealing with like Hal's minions and like protecting our contestants and stuff. Cause like we got a bit of that earlier with like, the whole fight with June, right?
Yeah.
Kind of establishing that there's gonna be like fights outside of the tournament proper that would like be important or whatever. And I feel like that makes a lot of sense.
He'll get back into the tournament.
Get in the tournament, yo.
Like, I don't know how it's gonna happen. Like, I don't know. Silva will show up and be like, "Hey, only we can disqualify contestants."
And then like Mark will show back up and he'll be like, hey, you broke your promise. Time to murder Rin.
After the power boost Ren gets from his revival, I doubt Marco would be able to stop him. Like, I feel like it's way too easy to set up a way where Yo just gets back into the tournament.
Man, I feel like that'd be a really fun scene. Just like the X-Laws all show up to try to like stop Rin from doing the tournament, and he just glances over and he beats like all of them at once.
Yeah, he turns Basson into his new weapon and just swings it and beats them all.
Yeah, Rin forms like yet another new Oversoul and it just wrecks them all in like one shot.
Yeah.
Oh man, but yeah, this is gonna be interesting. Like I'd already feel that like this is gonna go in some weird like thematic directions and stuff like that. So that should be fun to talk about. Anything else we really want to talk about with Shaman King? Because it's like,
Nah, that's pretty much all that happens this episode.
nah. All right, yeah, that's fair.